Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks and today we will take a look at 11 scary videos. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more scary content. Alright, with that said, let's begin. The first video we'll be taking a look at comes to us from a TikTok account called Jensen's Journey and shows home security camera footage of a young boy walking around his house, seemingly late at night or early in the morning. So far nothing seems too unusual, but it's right here where things take a seriously strange turn. Watch closely. Right around this moment, some toys on the ground appear to move on their own. They shift position without the boy clearly touching them. And unlike something out of Toy Story, where the toys only move when no one's around, these objects seem to slide while the child is standing right there, almost as if something unseen is deliberately trying to get his attention. At one point, the boy's mother turns and appears to notice the movement as well. Strangely, she doesn't react in an overly dramatic way. That alone has left some viewers wondering, has something like this happened before? Those who believe in the paranormal suggest this could be a spirit interacting with the environment, possibly making its presence known through small but noticeable movements. The only grounded explanation, however, is that the entire clip could be a hoax. The movement may have been staged intentionally, either through subtle manipulation, off camera, or simple editing. With security footage and a bit of planning, it wouldn't be difficult to create something that looks convincing at first glance. Still, whether it's cleverly set up or something far harder to explain, seeing toys shift across the floor in a quiet house is enough to leave anyone feeling uneasy. Over on TikTok, a woman named Anna Labwood frequently posts videos of herself playing beautiful songs on the organ. Her page is usually very normal and genuinely entertaining, with nothing remotely creepy about it. That is, except for one video. On January 26, 2026, Anna uploaded something very different from her usual content. In it, she's inside a cathedral in Norway at around 2:30 in the morning, when something deeply unsettling begins to happen.
Guys, I love you all. Please don't do this in the middle of the night. It's really scary. It's 2:30 in the morning and someone's trying to get in. That is, I know they can't get in, but it is still scary.
Throughout the video, someone can be heard loudly pounding on the cathedral doors, seemingly trying to get inside. The echo of the banging carries through the empty space as Anna remains completely still, clearly shaken, just waiting and hoping the noise will stop. According to Anna, she heard the pounding 4 separate times before it eventually stopped. Whoever was outside must have given up and left, but it still raises an uncomfortable question. Why were they trying so persistently to get in at that hour? Some viewers believe the situation feels almost ominous, as if something or someone was deliberately targeting the isolated cathedral in the middle of the night. Another theory is that it may have simply been a person who didn't realize the cathedral was closed or someone attempting to get attention without understanding how frightening it would sound from inside. Either way, hearing repeated pounding on the doors of a vast, dark cathedral at 2:30 in the morning would rattle just about anyone. Even if there's a simple explanation, it's the setting, the isolation, the echoes, the hour that makes this moment linger long after the noise fades. On May 21st, 2019, a YouTube channel known simply as Enki uploaded a video showing a security guard encountering something that likely stayed with him long after his shift ended. The guard is walking through the Weymouth public house in the UK, carrying out a routine security check. Everything seems perfectly normal as he moves through the quiet halls. But when he makes his way down into the cellar, that's when things take a sudden turn.
Oh, this is like a cellar or something. Shit, hell. Jesus Christ. Hey! Okay, let's get out of here.
The guard pauses and slowly scans the room with his flashlight. For a few seconds, nothing happens. Then, without warning, a large wooden plank that had been leaning against the wall suddenly falls violently to the floor, seemingly all on its own. The sound echoes through the cellar and the guard immediately reacts, clearly shaken. Not long after, he decides to leave the area. There don't appear to be any open windows nearby, and at least at first glance, there's no obvious sign of strings or visible trickery. To some viewers, it looks as though something unseen deliberately pushed the plank over, almost as if a spirit was trying to make its presence known. It's also possible that the plank simply wasn't stable to begin with. Old buildings settle over time, and subtle vibrations, whether from footsteps, shifting foundations, or even temperature changes, can cause loosely balanced objects to tip without much warning. Even so, the timing is what makes it so unsettling. The guard steps into the room, pauses, and then it falls. Whether it was simple physics catching up at the worst possible moment, or something unseen reacting to his presence, it's a moment that would rattle just about anyone working alone in a dark cellar. Over on the UFOB subreddit, a video was shared, which was originally posted in a local community Facebook group. According to the post, the footage was filmed at around 9:15 PM somewhere in New Zealand. The person recording was simply trying to capture a thunder and lightning storm in the distance. Instead, they may have filmed something far more unusual.
Immolato! Holy crap, come look at this! Honest to God!
What?
Holy!
What?
Holy!
About halfway into the video, a bright white light appears on the left-hand side of the sky and begins moving steadily across the frame. Then, between the 41-second and 1-minute mark, the object appears to stop mid-air briefly, hovering in place, before continuing on. What stands out immediately is how intense the glow is. The object doesn't resemble a conventional aircraft. There are no visible blinking navigation lights, no red or green indicators, and no clear body shape, just a strong, solid white glow moving through the night sky. The sudden pause only adds to the mystery. To some viewers, the way it seems to suspend itself before moving again makes it feel less like a plane and more like something deliberately controlled, or something not operating under normal flight behavior at all. At the same time, it's possible that distance and zoom are distorting what's actually being seen. A drone, helicopter, or even a plane facing toward the camera could appear as a concentrated white light. Whether it's an unusual but explainable aircraft, or something far less ordinary, the combination of the intense glow and that brief mid-air pause is what keeps this clip firmly in the unexplained category. On June 28, 2017, a group of friends uploaded a video to YouTube showing themselves simply having a good time, goofing around, singing and hanging out together inside a house. For the first minute or so, everything feels lighthearted and completely normal, but then the mood shifts.
Oh, my pitu, my pitu, my pitu, my pitu, my pagi. My pagi, my pitu, mari kita tengok, mari kita tengok. Buka lampu, Pi.
As one of the guys stands directly in front of the camera continuing to sing, a sudden loud knocking sound echoes from somewhere in the distance. It's sharp enough to immediately startle everyone in the room. The singing stops, and the energy changes almost instantly. Curious and clearly a bit uneasy, the group decides to search the house to figure out where the noise came from. For the next few minutes, they wander from room to room, checking corners and dark spaces. And then they find something.
Ya. Đậu gắn đâu. Đậu xin lạ đi à. Allah Akbar. Bodoh. Ya Allah. Bodoh. Babi gua ya Allah.
Standing in the corner, partially concealed by shadows, appears to be a tall, pale figure. It looks almost like a human shape, wrapped tightly in white fabric, motionless and watching. The moment the group notices, they begin yelling and quickly retreat, clearly panicked before the video cuts off. The uploader later claimed he believes the figure is a pocong, a ghost from Indonesian folklore, said to resemble a dead body wrapped in a burial shroud. Given the figure's appearance, the comparison certainly seems intentional. Those who believe say the resemblance is too close to ignore, especially the rigid posture and shroud-like outline. Of course, there's also the possibility this was staged. The figure could easily be someone standing still in a costume, strategically placed in a dark corner to heighten the shock factor. With careful lighting and timing, it wouldn't be difficult to create a convincing reveal. Either way, the combination of the unexplained knocking and this silent figure waiting in the shadows makes for a deeply unsettling moment. Whether folklore come to life or a well-planned scare, it's the kind of image that lingers long after the video ends. A man named Nick posted a video to his TikTok account in September of 2019 showing what he claims is genuine paranormal activity taking place at his job late at night. Nick begins by explaining that he was just about to leave the store to head home when the lights suddenly started flickering. He mentions this wasn't the first time it had happened either. Already uneasy, he and a female co-worker realize her keys are in the back of the shop, meaning she can't leave without them. As they head toward the back to retrieve the keys, things escalate.
We need to go get my keys.
And the light turned on.
I don't want to go.
Okay, well, I'm gonna literally record this whole thing just so you guys can see what happened. I'm literally so scared. Okay, something. The bathroom light's on too.
What's this like? Bro, why are my keys on the floor? They were not there. Like, I did. I just put them on the desk. Like, oh my god.
This is literally insane.
At around the 25-second mark, a piece of plastic suddenly falls to the floor on its own, startling both of them. Then, moments later, the woman enters a room and discovers her keys lying on the floor. She is visibly shocked, insisting she left them on the desk and not near the edge where they could have slipped off. The tension rises as they sit in the room watching the security cameras, trying to make sense of what's happening. Eventually, they decide to move around the store again, and that's when things get even more intense.
We're 50 minutes past our shift because of this shit.
We closed at 10, so we need to like, it's so dark because all the light switches are over here.
Stop it, go.
Okay, this is what I mean.
Oh my god.
This room is over.
God.
This is
Oh my god.
this is what we're dealing with.
Oh my god, yo, what the Bro, Nick, did you do this on purpose?
I-
Did you fake this? No, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, Nick.
Stop! You're literally. Are you?
No, wait, no. Nah.
No.
That didn't just
We literally looked away for like 2 seconds.
walking, 'cause, like, what?
In part 2, around the 20-second mark, something suddenly flies directly in front of Nick's face, as if it had been thrown. Just seconds later, multiple lamps inside the shop begin swinging back and forth on their own. The sequence of events, objects falling, keys relocating, something being hurled, and the lamp swaying, leads some viewers to believe this could be a clear case of poltergeist-like activity, with unseen forces manipulating the environment. At the same time, there is always the possibility that this was staged for social media. Regardless of the explanation, experiencing something like this firsthand in a quiet store after closing time would be deeply unsettling. Whether it was paranormal or carefully crafted setup, it's the kind of night shift that would make anyone think twice before turning off the lights and locking up alone. This next clip comes to us from the popular Alien subreddit and was posted by a user known as Mr. Dylan369. The footage was reportedly filmed somewhere in Scotland, although the exact location hasn't been confirmed. Throughout the video, we see what appears to be a massive object hovering and moving slowly through the sky, something that certainly resembles a UAP. The object drifts steadily overhead for roughly a full minute. It doesn't appear to behave like a typical plane, and its size, at least from the perspective of the video, makes it look unusually large. There are no obvious flashing navigation lights, and its shape seems somewhat indistinct, which only adds to the mystery. By the time the clip ends, viewers are left wondering whether they have just seen authentic proof of something not from this world. Many people in the comments expressed genuine amazement, with some saying it's difficult to remain skeptical after watching it. Others are eager to find out the precise location in Scotland where it was filmed, hoping that more context might bring clarity. Of course, there's also the possibility that what we're seeing is a more conventional object viewed from an unusual angle. Without additional footage or confirmation of the location, it's hard to draw firm conclusions. For now, it remains another unexplained sighting in the sky, and like so many videos before it, it leaves us watching and wondering. A TikTok user known as United Warhouse claims the footage we're about to see was filmed around 4 years ago. According to him, the person who recorded it is a complete skeptic when it comes to anything paranormal. The homeowner had been hearing strange noises coming from his basement, but couldn't figure out what was causing them. At first, he assumed it was something ordinary, maybe a raccoon or some other animal moving around in the dark. Eventually, he decided to set up a video camera in the basement to capture whatever was making the sounds. At around the 55-second mark, a box suddenly falls to the floor. On its own, that might not seem too alarming, but it doesn't stop there.
It looked like there's a little tension going on. That box, look at that. You see that? How it's tilting? It just snapped into place like that. Watch, it gets worse. That box is shaped like a diamond now. It is on the corner of the box, holding itself. You tell me how a box moves like that. It's impossible to make a box move like that. That's bananas. Let's run it back one more time and watch the stuff on the table now. Okay? Watch all this stuff on the table. How many items just moved at once? 1, 2, 3, like 4 items on the table moves at once. Do they all go in on itself? Bro, they all kind of went in on itself.
Not long after, another box tips over by itself. Then, between the 140 and 150 mark, multiple items sitting on a table begin moving at the same time. They don't just slide slightly, they shift together in a way that feels coordinated. There's a brief pause, and then...
So when he came downstairs to touch the camera, now what you guys want to do is look at the table again. Did you see that? Everything flew off the table. It happened so fast, but you can see it. You can see, like, this is obviously not there no more. It is not there no more.
All of the objects on the table are suddenly thrown down to the floor in one chaotic motion. The escalation is what makes this clip so unsettling. A single box falling could be written off. Even 2 might be coincidence. But when multiple objects begin moving simultaneously, and then everything is forcefully knocked down, it starts to resemble classic reports of poltergeist activity. Skeptics, however, would argue that if this wasn't caused by an animal, it could have been staged. Whatever the explanation may be, one thing feels certain. If you were standing in that basement when all those objects came crashing down at once, raccoon or not, you probably wouldn't be sticking around to investigate further. A TikTok user known as Danny Osnaya posted a video showing himself working an evening shift at his local gym. You'd think a place as normal and laid back as a gym would be completely safe from anything creepy, but that may not be the case here.
Porque esto pasa, amor. ¿Viste? O sea, mira, vamos a pensar. Son 10:35. Ahorita ya no debe de haber nadie. No voy a poner ni pausa ni nada. Ajá. Tú lo escuchaste. Yo lo escuché. Tú lo... O sea, veamos. Esa fue una, ¿no?
At around the 15-second mark, a sound can be heard that resembles someone running up a staircase. It's quick and distinct, echoing through the otherwise quiet building. Then, about 15 seconds later, another unsettling noise rings out, this time metallic, seemingly coming from a nearby door. After hearing both sounds, the uploader cautiously makes his way further up the stairs to investigate, and that's when things get even stranger.
No estoy loco. No estoy loco. Está cerrado. Está cerrado. Digo, si lo fuerzo no quiero romperlo, pero... No mames.
He approaches a locked room and peers through the window. Inside, 3 punching pads can be seen moving back and forth, as if someone invisible is striking them. There's no one inside the room, at least no one visible, yet the pads sway with noticeable force. So some viewers, this feels like classic poltergeist activity. The running footsteps, the metallic door sound, and then the punching pads moving in an empty locked room all build towards something that seems deliberately unseen. At the same time, there are other possibilities to consider. Air circulation systems in large gyms can create strong drafts, especially in enclosed rooms. Vibrations from nearby equipment or unevenly hung pads might also cause movement that looks more deliberate than it actually is on camera. Whatever's happening, watching gym equipment swing in a locked room after hearing footsteps echo through the building is enough to make anyone uneasy. Whether it's something supernatural or something far more ordinary, this is one late night shift that likely won't be forgotten anytime soon. A man named Daryl Saunders posted a video to his Facebook account hoping someone online could help him figure out what exactly happened on this particular day. The footage comes from a home security camera. In the middle of the day, Daryl can be seen sitting at his computer, casually working, nothing out of the ordinary. The room is quiet and everything appears completely normal. Then, suddenly, something startles him. Daryl explains that he heard the flaps in the doorway move, which caused him to quickly turn his head toward the sound. And if you look carefully at this moment, a faint, transparent figure appears to move through the background. It's subtle, almost blending into the surroundings, but distinct enough to resemble a human-like shape passing by. When Daryl later reviewed the footage and noticed the figure, he says it genuinely shook him, and it's not hard to understand why. Seeing something translucent drift through your workspace in broad daylight isn't exactly comforting. Some viewers believe this could be a genuine apparition, a spirit passing through briefly, caught only because the camera happened to be recording at the right moment. Others suggest it may be a trick of lighting or compression from the security camera. Whatever the truth may be, it's the combination of the noise, Daryl's immediate reaction, and that faint shape in the background that makes this clip unsettling. It's the kind of thing that would make anyone glance over their shoulder the next time they hear something move behind them. On TikTok, a user known as Perry64 posted a series of videos that are almost guaranteed to make you lose a bit of sleep tonight. What starts off as a normal security camera clip quickly turns into something far more disturbing. In the first clip, we see the home's front door suddenly swing open on its own, immediately triggering the house alarm. There's no sound in this particular angle, but the alarm can be heard clearly in the next part. The door doesn't appear to hesitate, it just opens. In part 2, we witness the same event from the perspective of the two girls inside the house at the time.
Recording up. Wait. Do you hear that? Can you check the security footage? Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, what is it?
As the alarm blares, panic quickly sets in. Then around the 15-second mark, the bedroom door can be heard opening by itself. That's when the situation escalates. Convinced someone has broken in, the the girls decide their only option is to escape, and they jump out of the window. In the chaos, the uploader forgets her phone and eventually makes the risky decision to go back inside to retrieve it. Then comes part 3. Inside the house, security footage captures something even more unsettling. At around the 38-second mark, and again at 1:20, a small, dark figure can be seen running quickly across the floor. It's low to the ground, shadow-like, and gone almost as fast as it appears. The girls later posted follow-up videos explaining what was going through their minds. One of them said she heard knocking coming from different parts of the walls while the alarms were going off. At that moment, they were convinced someone had broken into the house, which is why they reacted so quickly. They also insist the front door had definitely been shut. The house is brand new, they say, and the locks and latches aren't old or rusted. That's part of what makes it so unsettling to them. There shouldn't be any structural issues or obvious mechanical failures. Some viewers believe the dark figure resembles a classic shadow person, an entity often described as starting low across rooms and appearing only briefly on camera. At the same time, there's the possibility that the entire sequence was staged. Coordinating multiple camera angles, triggering alarms, and creating quick shadow movements could be done with planning and careful setup. Whatever the truth may be, the combination of a door opening on its own, alarms blaring, and a dark shape sprinting across the floor is enough to make anyone's heart race. If you were in their position, alone in a house when everything starts moving, chances are you'd be heading for the nearest exit too. And that was 11 scary videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary content. My name is Spooks, and I'll see you all in the next video.